Hello, good day. Welcome once again to another episode, to the 11th episode. Opo, 11th na po tayo of Kwentuhan Sessions, JMBL Case Digest, wherein we discuss the cases penned by Justice Mario V. Lopez in preparation for the 2024 bar exam. Bakit nga ba tayo naka-11? Sabi ko hanggang 10 lang tayo. Kasi ginalingan niyo po sa pag-subscribe at ngayon ay na-reach na po natin yung 150 na subscribers. So, as promised, every 50 increase in 50 na subscribers, mag-a-upload po tayo ng 2 episode. So, isa to sa mga i-upload ko. For today's episode, we'll be discussing dahil uso ang hiwalayan ngayon. Okay? Naghiwalay si Richard tsaka si Sarah, naghiwalay si Catherine tsaka si Daniel, at ngayon nagsabi na naghiwalay na rin or kinonfirm na ang hiwalayang Kimchi. Tayo ay may sariling hiwalayan din at atin mas medyo medyo may class. Joke lang. Medyo ito yung hiwalayang may legal basis. Okay? Kaya may class. May legal basis siya. Ito ang, medyo landmark case na pambababae ni Antonio S. Quiogue versus Maria Bel B. Quiogue and the Republic of the Philippines as respondents. GR number 203992, August 22, 2022. Di ba? Ang ganda ng date. Okay? So, dito nga, isa sa mga naging desisyon dito is yung infidelity can be a cause for annulment. Okay? Can be a ground for annulment. So, let's see kung paano nangyari yun. Let's start with the facts. Okay? In his petition for declaration of nullity of marriage, Antonio Quiogue Jr. filed before the Regional Trial Court Branch 88, Quezon City. Antonio alleged that he and his wife, respondent Maria, were married on October 16, 1980. Okay, 1980. Before pa nga ng family code. However, they have been separated, in fact, since the year 1998 after Maribel drove him out of the conjugal home. Okay? During trial, Antonio testified that his wife Maribel did not love and respect him. So, pa-victim yung petitioner natin dito. She has no ability to maintain a peaceful married and family life because she is ill-tempered, tactless, irritable, and confrontational. Although Antonio admitted that he had flings with other women during their marriage, his wife made the situation more difficult as she was constantly nagging about it. So, syempre, di ba, bungangera daw si Maria Bel Quiogue dahil lagi niya siguro brinobrought up yung pambababae or yung mga flings ni Antonio Quiogue, if I pronounce that correctly. Okay? The expert witness, psychiatrist Dr. Valentina Del Alfonso Garcia, conducted a mental status assessment and clinical psychiatric interviews with Antonio and their eldest daughter, Maria Antoinette. Dr. Garcia likewise interviewed Maribel in several sessions when the latter brought their second daughter, Annabel, for consultation and treatment for her depression. So, kasi di ba, parang naging procedure na kapag may annulment proceedings, meron kang expert witness na psychiatrist. Kasi nga, coming from the time na ang psychological incapacity is a mental state. Therefore, kailangan meron kang psychiatrist na involved to assess the couple's mental state. Okay? So the evaluation of Dr. Garcia recommended that marital nullification be strongly considered by the court on the ground of psychological incapacity of the spouses. The RTC found sufficient grounds to declare the marriage between the petitioner and Maribel void. Okay? The RTC held that both parties are psychologically incapacitated to perform their marital obligations of living together, observing mutual love, respect, and fidelity, and rendering mutual help and support. Dr. Garcia found that although Antonio frowned upon the multiple women conquests of his own father, he succumbed to his narcissistic and histrionic personality. He had no qualms in admitting his flings, sorry. Sabihin wala siyang halong pinagyayabang pa niya, kumbaga, na marami siyang ka-fling. Okay? Despite knowing its devastating effects on his wife and children. His extramarital affairs are manifestation of ego gratification and because of he finds pleasure and thrill in pursuing illicit relationships. Maribel, on the other hand, exhibited extreme emotional reactions towards her husband by deliberately demeaning and insulting him in public. She would unfold her vulgar thoughts to others, even to her children. So ito naman, hindi daw mapigilan ni Maribel yung kanyang bibig, kaya kanyang pagbubunganga at madalas pati na naririnig din ito ng kanyang mga anak. Siyempre, hirap naman na naririnig yun ng iyong mga anak. Okay? This shows her lack of respect, love for her husband. Okay? Maribel's unstable temperament and her derogatory and fretful stance, which heavily contributed to the collapse of their marriage, shows inability to cope with the stressors and complexities of marriage. The CA, however, reversed the RTC's ruling on appeal. Okay? So, sino yung nag-appeal dito? Si OSG. Okay? Bakit nangingilam si OSG? Bakit kasama si Republic of the Philippines sa respondents? Kasi, di ba, ang family, di ba, is one of the pinakakaingatan ng state. Okay? So, syempre si OSG or the prosecutor is the public or the state. Mamamarites kasi tayo. No? We are well interested in the family na pag dapat lagi silang magkasama, di sila naghihiwalay. Okay? So, talagang gustong ma-ensure ni state na walang collusion na gaganap dahil gusto lang, di sabihin na gusto niyo na maghiwalay, maghihiwalay kayo. Kailangan merong permission pa din ng state. And that is through the intervention of the Office of the Solicitor General, di ba? The CA agreed with the Solicitor General that the infidelity of Antonio and his irreconcilable differences with his wife Maribel do not constitute psychological incapacity under Article 36 of the Family Code. So dito, although nakita ng RTC na yung infidelity ni Antonio ay maaring grounds for psychological incapacity. Sabi ni CA and sabi ni OSG na hindi naman yan dapat ground, okay? Ang pangbababae ay hindi ground para sa psychological incapacity. Yun yung sinasabi ni OSG na nag-agree si CA, okay? And at the psychiatric evaluation, the CA held that the report issued by Dr. Garcia merely confirmed Antonio's and Maribel's marital problems, but it cannot be considered as conclusive proof of the spouse's alleged psychological incapacity. Okay, psychological incapacity. So, sabi ng CA, pwede pa naman magbati yan. Babae lang naman yan si Antonio, tsaka bungangera lang naman yan si Maribel. Pwede na lang pag-usapan yan. Marital counsel sila. Marriage counseling sila, sabi ng CA. So, ni-reverse. Okay, gusto ng CA na together pa rin kayo. Okay? Thus, there was a petition to the Supreme Court. Okay? So, the issues were whether or not Antonio's chronic infidelity is a form of psychological incapacity. So, natanong ngayon ni ng ang katanungan sa court is yung palagiang bang pambababae, okay? Yung sobrang pambababae ba ay pwedeng maging ground for psychological incapacity and therefore could nullify the marriage, okay? So, yun yung tanong. Number two, whether or not si Maribel on her side is psychologically incapacitated, okay? So, yun yung naging issues, okay? Of course, since this is a 2022 case, okay? We all dapat, 'di ba? Dapat alam na natin kung ano yung isa sa mga monumental and landmark cases when it comes to annulment cases, which is the Tan Andal case, okay? Which was used, okay, as basis for the decision in this case, Antonio Quiogue versus Maria Quiogue and the Republic of the Philippines. Okay? So ang ginamit na basis is yung Tan Andal case given this is the more recent and it abandoned um the previous jurisprudence with regards to psychological incapacity or the grounds for psychological incapacity. Okay? So yun yung ginamit ni Justice Mario V. Lopez. Okay? And ruling, okay, for in the first issue, Justice Mario V. Lopez said, yes, Antonio's chronic infidelity is a form of psychological incapacity. Sabi ni Justice Mario V. Lopez, yung pambababae nitong si Antonio ay isang form ng psychological incapacity. He first mentioned of his basis, which is recently in 2021, the court revisited the concept of psychological incapacity in the Tan Andal versus Andal case. There we observed that what was first described in 1995 in Santos versus CA as a mental incapacity that renders a person incognizant of basic marital covenants has since fortuitously evolved into a rigid criteria laid down in Republic versus Molina. So yung dati daw gamit, okay, na basis, medyo masyado ng strict. Kaya ang hirap-hirap magpa-annul sa Pilipinas kasi naging strict na, lalo na nung karoon ng criteria doon sa Republic versus Molina. The Molina Doctrine required the parties to prove not only gravity and antecedents under Article 36, but also incurability. The parties were then expected to present expert testimony to sufficiently prove that the root cause of the psychological incapacity has been medically or clinically identified. So dun sa Republic versus Molina, based on Santos versus CA, sinasabi na yung psychological incapacity is a mental state, okay? Mental state, okay? Later, the court saw that viewing psychological incapacity from a medical perspective is unnecessary. So, kaya nagkaroon ng plot twist, kumbaga, or nagkaroon ng change of heart yung ating Supreme Court through the Tan Andal case. Okay? As clarified in Marcos versus Marcos, an actual medical examination of the person concerned need not be resorted to if the totality of the evidence presented is enough to sustain a finding of psychological incapacity. So merong sa Marcos versus Marcos daw, hindi naman daw kailangan ng medical examination. Ang kailangan lang is alamin yung total circumstances ng marriage nila para sabihin kung meron bang psychological incapacity. Besides, demanding proof of incurability is antithetical to Article 36 since the incapacitated spouse is not considered ill-equipped to remarry another person. For this reason, the aspect of incurability is now approached in the legal sense. So ito talaga yung naging game changer, kumbaga, na doctrine pagdating sa annulment cases with using the Tan Andal case, that incurability is now not viewed in the medical perspective, but now viewed in the legal sense. Of course, you will have a better understanding of the Tan Andal case if you read the full text or kahit papaano yung maganda-gandang digest. But hopefully I will have the time to revisit the case and discuss it also kahit hindi siya JMBL kasi syempre landmark case siya okay? Going back, this contemplates the incurability is now approached in the legal sense. So Justice Mario V. Lopez said, this contemplates of a situation wherein a person's personality structure manifests through clear acts of dysfunctionality which undermine the marital union, and there must be a clear and convincing proof that the incapacity is enduring or persistent with respect to a specific partner. Okay? So dito, hindi ang sa Tan Andal case daw, hindi naman tinanggal yung incurability. Binago lang yung perspective, okay? Hindi na siya medical perspective. Hindi na siya sakit sa utak, okay? Kasi sabi dito, kapag treat mo daw siya as a mental incapacity, okay? Eh di, wala na talaga yung chance para makapag-remarry kasi nasa utak na niya na yun eh, di ba? Pero kung if we will view it in a legal sense, okay, kung in that scenario lang, maaari pa siya mag-remarry kasi baka mamaya sa spouse lang din yan, sa spouse lang din or dun sa specific relationship lang na sa specific relationship lang na yun na hindi sila nag-work, okay? So, yun. So kaya nga sabi dito, there must be clear and convincing proof that the incapacity is enduring or persistent with respect to a specific partner. Okay? Hindi siya talaga generally na meron na talaga siyang psychological incapacity. Siyempre, hirap naman din nun, no? Na masabihan ka may psychological incapacity ka. So, parang ang hirap ka nang magkaroon na ulit ng bagong asawa. Okay? Kung mag-aanal man. Okay? So yun yung well, the gist of the Tan Andal case. Again, I will try my very best um to, to discuss also the Tan Andal case. Of course, syempre yung mga civil law professors ninyo, lecturers and reviewers yung na discussion na to, na-recite mo na din siguro, sana hindi mo nasabing I have not read the case. Pero sana nabasa mo din to, okay? Para at least you have a clear understanding of this. Pero syempre, as this will be also part of the bar, kailangan din natin i-discuss to and hopefully I have the time to do so. Okay? Going back. Infidelity, sabi ni Justice Mario V. Lopez, in this case, infidelity is not measured in terms of frequency. So, hindi sabihin na one time lang o hindi siya infidelity. So, hindi yan kung gaano kadami mong best ka ng babae. Okay? So, it is not to be measured of frequency. To be considered as a form of psychological incapacity, infidelity must satisfy the same requirements of gravity or severity, antecedents, and legal incurability or persistence during the marriage. Okay? So, nandun pa rin yung criteria na gravity and juridical antecedents and incurability, andun pa rin naman. Again, ang key change lang ng Tan Andal case is that the incurability is now approached in the legal sense. Okay? So, dito sa case digest na ginawa natin sa sui generis is syempre i-point by point natin yung kada element ng psychological incapacity. Okay? For juridical antecedents, okay? In Tan Andal case, the court recognized that a person's behavior is determined not only by genetic predisposition, but also influenced by his or her environment. One that is particularly significant is the character of the parents as witnessed by the child during the formative years. Okay? So, hindi siya merely hereditary or maaaring hindi siya hereditary. Okay? It is formed by also by the environment nung habang lumalaki. okay, habang nagro-grow yung tao, okay? Dr. Garcia was able to demonstrate how Antonio's childhood and adolescence year, which were spent dealing with his philandering father and impervious mother, heavily affected the way he perceives romantic relationship. Antonio's father had 11 children. Okay, so dami niyang kapatid, 11 children with 4 other women. So daming panganay and was never discreet about his illicit affairs. So, kaya ang yabang ni Antonio kasi yung tatay din daw niya mayabang. Okay, na madami siyang babae kasi pinagyayabang din niya na 4 yung asawa din niya at nakikita yun ni Antonio. Okay? Women would look often for his father and ask for financial support. Okay? Kasi nga 11 sila, di ba? Paano yung isusuportahan yan? As a child, Antonio thought that this was the only role of his father. So, kala niya is ano, kasi nga, di ba, go forth and multiply ang kanyang motto. Kumbaga, yun yung motto ng tatay niya na indoctrinate si Antonio. Okay? Dr. Garcia also noted that Antonio lacked proper attention from his mother. So, kulang sa aruga ng nanay. Yun yung binibiro natin, hindi ka mahal ng nanay mo, gano'n. So, isa din yun si Antonio. This led to his attention-seeking demeanor and dependent personality trait, which fuels his propensity to look for thrill in his relationship. Dahil nga hindi siya uh, mahal ng nanay niya, gumagawa siya ng paraan, okay, or hindi siya inaaruga ng tama ng nanay niya, gumagawa siya ng paraan para magkaroon ng atensyon papunta sa kanya, okay? For instance, Antonio recalled that after school, he would spend the rest of the day with a tutor. When he comes home at night, his mother would not be there as she would always be playing mahjong elsewhere. So, si nanay kasi, kaya wala palang aruga kasi mahjongera. Okay? So, ayan, gambler si nanay. Sana nakakapong, nakakatsaw at nakaka-7 pairs din siya doon. Okay? Growing up, he detested his father, but his mother would force him to show respect because they were being well provided for. So, nung nalaman niya na siguro na pangit yung pambababae, so nawalan na siya ng respeto sa tatay niya. Pero sabi ng nanay niya, respetuhin mo yan, tatay mo pa rin yan, di ba? At siya yung nagpro-provide sa atin, which is common Filipino trait, di ba? Unfortunately, Antonio mirrored his father's way, okay? Yung pambababae ng kanyang tatay. As a young adult, he engaged in several short-lived overlapping relationship. Napaka-pogi na itong si Antonio dahil yan, pinag-o-overlap pa daw niya, pinagsasabay-sabay, including the one with Maribel, yung asawa niya, current na asawa niya. They dated when he still had another girlfriend. So yun, napagsabay daw niya. Okay, at mayabang pa siya doon. After 2 years, Maribel got pregnant and so he was forced to marry her. So parang sense dito na pikot pa si Antonio. Okay? However, the marriage did not prove to be a catalyst for Antonio as he repeatedly committed marital indiscretion. So, yun nga, siyempre dapat 'di ba kapag meron ka ng anak at, may asawa ka na, kasal ka na, titino ka na. Pero sabi ng court dito na-observe ni Dr. Garcia na hindi naging catalyst or hindi yun naging, cause ng change of heart ni, Antonio. Bagkus mas lalo pa siyang naging mas ng babae. Soon enough, the spouses fell into a pernicious cycle of discovery, reprisal, and forgiveness. So, ibig sabihin, nalalaman ni Maribel na merong kabit tong si Antonio, manghihingi ng patawad, reprisal, and forgiveness. Okay, so cycle na lang yun. Then, a new illicit affair. Okay, so yun, paulit-ulit na nangyari. Okay, ikot-ikot lang, sabi lang ni Sarah Geronimo. Okay, clearly, Antonio's inability to maintain a monogamous relationship with his wife can be traced to his dysfunctional childhood. So yun nga, isa sa basis ng juridical antecedent is you look into the person's childhood. Okay? So, marami pang facts yan, na actually yung case mahaba talaga yan because it depicted the facts kung saan nandun yung observation ni Dr. Garcia, which I'll go into pagkatapos na ng buong case na to para at least ano na lang yun, appendix kasi. Okay? Ginawa ko na lang siyang appendix. Nandito na rin naman yung gist ko yun ng or yung summary kung ng kanyang mga pambababae or yung mga masamang ginawa ni Antonio. Okay? So, pero didiscuss ko din naman yung buong factual antecedent. Okay? Dr. Garcia declared that Antonio is gravely psychologically incapacitated to perform the essential marital obligations. Okay? He has a narcissistic and histrionic personality disorder that was in place even before his marriage, such that it can no longer be effectively addressed through psychiatric treatment. So, di ba ang psychological incapacity dapat during before the marriage or on the marriage, dapat meron ka na nun ng psychological incapacity yun, di ba? So dito, before the marriage, meron na siyang narcissistic and histrionic personality disorder. Siguro, nung time na yun, hindi pa diagnosed. Na-diagnose lang dahil nga nangyari itong kasong ito. Okay? Further, Dr. Garcia found that Antonio has a sense of entitlement. Okay? May pagka-Karen ito. Okay? He has unreasonable expected favorable treatment or automatic compliance with expectations and whim. Okay? Gusto niya siya yung nasusunod, siya yung laging tama. Yun, si Antonio. Huwag gagayahin. Okay? He is an exploitive partner who manipulated and deceived his spouse for his own gain. He lacks the empathy or the sensitivity to adequately respond to the needs and feelings of his wife and his children. So, hindi niya nga talaga kayang maging mabuting asawa at anak sa asawa at ama, sorry, asawa at ama sa kanyang mga anak, asawa at ama. Okay? More so, he has apparently a marked degree of attention seeking demeanor which could be attributed to his perceived emotional deprivation as a child and as an adolescent. So, ang Tagalog dito, papampam siya, okay? Papansin, okay? Kasi nga, nung bata siya, kulang siya sa aruga, okay? Secondly, he has pathologically identified with his philandering and remorseless father who had exposed him to his illicit affairs. So, di ba nga, kung ano yung ginagawa na matanda, kayang-kayang gayahin ng bata. So, since nakita niya na yun at a very early age, yun yun ang na-adapt niya na parang tama pala yun. Parang okay lang pala na maraming babae. Ganun. Okay, so, yun nga, yung sa mga nakikinig na mga tatay dito, including na ako, be a very good example to your children, especially, yun, di ba, yung kay Doug Creamer nga, di ba, ikaw bilang tatay, ikaw dapat yung the highest standard of being a man. Para kapag nakita na pag pumili na ng boyfriend or aasawahin yung anak mong babae, ikaw yung standard at ikaw yung highest standard. Okay? Maisingit lang. Okay? So yun. Thirdly, he has strong desire to accomplish and to be recognized and reversed in the end. Okay? His manifold association with women are ego gratifying. Siyempre, di ba, pag marami kang babae, tataas yung ego mo. Lalo kang yayabang. Yet there was lack of warmth, depth, and in his dealings with them that he could have acted on his sexual impulses to prove that he is a worthy and charming individual. So, ano lang naman, di ba? One time lang naman. Wow. Onse-onse lang. Okay? He has also dependent traits. He feels helpless and uncomfortable when left alone and such. He has a propensity to look for thrill and pleasure in his relationship. Hindi niya kayang mag-isa. Okay? Kaya pag nag-aaway sila ng kanyang asawa, naghahanap siya ng iba. Okay? Parang parang kanta lang. Okay? Here, Dr. Garcia's psychiatric evaluation invariably shows that Antonio's prolivicity, sorry na, hindi ko alam kung tama yung ano ko, proclivity to act is on his sexual impulses is deeply rooted in a psychological condition that existed before the celebration of the marriage. Again, that is vital na yung psychological condition mo existed before the marriage kasi isa yun sa mga um, grounds din, di ba, ng for nullity of marriage na yung psychological capacity before or on the date of the marriage, meron ka na nun. Okay? Yun yung isa mga requisites, di ba? Okay? Number 2 and 3, for the grounds of gravity and incurability, Justice Mario V. Lopez, okay, said, during his interviews with Dr. Garcia, Antonio referred to Maribel as a good housewife because she is not employed anyway. Okay, para sa kanya, ang babae ay housewife lang. Diba? Kasi nga, feeling entitled siya at gusto niya mataas yung ego niya. Okay? He described Maribel as a dedicated mother because she has no work and she can always be with the kids. In return, Antonio compensated her by giving her a monthly allowance for household expenses. Nagbibigay naman daw siya ng pangsuporta. It is evident that Antonio considered himself superior to his wife. He does not consider Maribel as a partner, hence there is a constant need for him to look for affection outside the marriage. So sa kanya, isang housewife ka lang, para sa kanya second rate individual lang yung kanyang asawa. Hindi niya tinuturing na kanyang kapartner. Di ba? Kapag nag-asawa kayo, di ba, partner mo siya, di ba? Equal kayo. Okay? Walang pataasan. Okay? Dahil nga equal dapat yung standing ninyo. Okay? May pa-marriage advice pa tayo, di ba? Moreover, Antonio blamed Maribel's nagging and tactlessness for demise of their marriage. Bungangera kasi ito si Maribel, sabi ni Antonio, saying that her actions drove him away. He admitted that he was weak in not being able to control his womanizing. So, medyo may remorse naman siya ng konti dito at ina-acknowledge naman niya na pambababae niya. Pero daw, okay, ganyan ganyan tayong mga lalaki, 'di ba? Oo na, mali ako, pero ikaw naman kasi, sabi niya. But Maribel is at fault, sabi niya, for not doing anything to win him back. O, 'di ba? Kasalanan pa daw ni Maribel na hindi siya sinusuyo. Okay, much more, binubungangaan pa daw siya. He did not perceive his wife's action as a sign of despair or her own peculiar way of fighting for their marriage, okay? Hindi niya nakita na ang pagbubunganga ni Maribel ay yun na yung parang sign na, uy, sige na, mayos ka na. Kaya hindi naman kita pabubungangaan ng bubungangaan kung inaayos mo yung buhay mo eh. 'Di ba? Hindi niya nakitang ganun. Treat niya as kaaway si Maribel. Hindi nga niya nakikita as partner, 'di ba? Antonio focused on Maribel's anger and its effects on him, which is ang nangyayari sa kanya is bumababa yung ego and then hence therefore mabababae ulit siya para pumaas yung kanyang ego. Okay? Antonio's failure to show sincere remorse for his blatant infidelity and lack of desire to fix his ways and save their marriage clearly amount to psychological incapacity, which is grave in nature. Antonio's incapacity further is incurable. Okay? So, yun na yung incurability. So, yun yung gravity kanina. Ito na yung incurability na portion. It is persistent throughout the marriage and is specifically directed at his wife, Maribel. Antonio did not have ample affection and commitment towards Maribel even at the outset. This was exacerbated by Maribel's insulting discourse and brazen attacks in response to Antonio's perennial womanizing callousness. As explained by Dr. Garcia, the spouses lack the ability to give each other sustained love, support, understanding, and respect, which are expected from an emotionally fit couples. Okay? Surely their distorted interaction and detestable communication pattern did not help resolve their conflict, instead resulted to a marital disintegration. The totality of the evidence thus points to Antonio's psychological incapacity as to the cause to nullify his marriage to Maribel. So, given the totality of the facts and circumstances, his his infidelity, okay, being na may supported by juridical antecedents, gravity and curability na pag na nag-a-agree si Justice Mario V. Lopez na merong psychological incapacity si Antonio as a cause to nullify the marriage with Maribel. Okay? Okay? So ang tanong naman ngayon, is Maribel, okay, Maribel, is psychologically incapacitated. Okay? Kung si Maribel din ba is psychologically incapacitated. Pero ano naman di na issue yun eh. Basta yung isang spouse ay psychologically incapacitated na, di ba? Yun na yung cause para magkaroon ng annulment. Pero para lang malaman kung si Maribel naman daw ay psychologically incapacitated kasi baka mamaya may kung hindi man, okay, na incapacitated si Antonio, baka si Maribel incapacitated, therefore magna-nullify. Pero yun nga, sabi nga ni Justice Mario V. Lopez, incapacitated na daw si Antonio. Pero let's see if Maribel is psychologically incapacitated. So the court, okay, through Justice Mario V. Lopez, said that no, Maribel is not psychologically incapacitated, as the court found that there is no sufficient evidence of such. Okay? As for Maribel's retaliatory acts, sending vulgar fax messages and hateful letters and evicting Antonio from the conjugal home, the court sees this as a typical of woman treated with contempt. Maribel was a college student when she got pregnant. She got married to Antonio and devoted herself to becoming a wife and mother to their kids. She wanted someone to grow old with and exerted efforts to have stable health and healthy home for Antonio and their children. However, when Maribel discovered her husband's illicit affairs, she was seething with anger that her nurturing ways was turned into rage. So, sinasabi dito ni Justice Mario V. Lopez na gaya ng ibang babae, normal lang naman na magalit ang isang babae kapag nalaman ng babae yung kanilang asawa. Kasi siyempre, ang kanyang ine-expect sa isang asawa at sa isang pamilya ay isang magandang pamilya, nagmamahalan at nagsusuportahan. Pero hindi yun yung nakuha ni Maribel. Okay? So, yun. Admittedly, Maribel's vengeful stance contributed to the collapse of their marriage. So, hindi rin naman daw nakatulong yung pagbubunganga ni Maribel. Okay? It was also the uh, uh, cause for their collapse, for their marriage to collapse, as it aggravated Antonio's psychological incapacity. Nakadagdag dun sa psychological incapacity ni Antonio. The court rules that this do not amount to psychological incapacity because this only existed during the marriage, particularly as a reaction to Antonio's philandering Ayun nga, sasabi ko sa inyo, di ba? May timeline dapat kung kailan nangyari yung psychological incapacity as you will review or we will, kasama ako, we will review na yung requirement for psychological incapacity dapat before or on the time na nag-a-I-do sila ay merong psychological incapacity. Kapag after na ng I-do at doon pala nagkaroon ng psychological incapacity, hindi ano yun, hindi hindi magiging ground yun, di ba? So, kasi dapat psychologically incapacitated ka na before or on the time that you were getting married. Okay? So, yun. Okay? Nare-review tayo doon. So, that was the doctrine in Antonio versus Quiogue versus Antonio Quiogue versus Maria Quiogue and Republic of the Philippines. Okay? Stating that, again, Justice Mario V. Lopez made use of the recent landmark case of Tan Andal case and making use that saying that incurability is not viewed in the medical sense but in a legal sense, and that the psychological incapacity is brought by psychic causes or yung upbringing, okay, din ng isang tao, okay? Pero nandun pa rin yung elements na juridical antecedents, gravity, and incurability, okay? And then it is said na dahil doon sa mga three elements, dun yung pambababae ni Antonio ay pasok dun sa three elements na yun. Kaya yun, may psychological incapacity talaga si Antonio Quiogue. Okay? So yun, para sa, yun yung pinaka, ano na ito. Actually, this is one of three cases ng annulment cases penned by Justice Mario P. Lopez. Okay? So, may dalawa pa siyang case. So, yung dalawang case, syempre para na yun sa mga favorite kong mga paid subscribers. So, if you would like to get those two cases, subscribe na rin po kayo. Okay? So, yun. Para dun sa mga gustong magmarites kung ano ba ang background talaga ni Antonio Quiogue or what was the facts observed by Dr. Garcia, allowing her to conclude that Antonio has psychological incapacity. Okay? So again, this was incorporated in the full text of the case. Tinake out ko lang siya, nilagay ko lang siya sa appendix kasi wala na, wordy na siya and hindi naman na siya kailangan. Pero kung gusto niyo magmarites, ayan, sasabihin ko sa inyo. Okay? So yan, factual observation of Dr. Garcia's psychological evaluation of Antonio leading to her conclusion or recommendation. Dr. Garcia described Antonio as the ambitious but disconcerted son of a businessman who had 11 children with 4 other women. He grew up emotionally close to his mother. She wanted him to be respectful and respectful to his unfaithful father, who only stays and sleeps in their house every Wednesday and Saturday. His mother is always out playing mahjong, while his father only gave them money. At the age of 17, Antonio lived in with his first girlfriend. O, di ba? Batang-bata, nakikipag-live-in na. Okay, marunong niyang makapag-live-in. Del, his first girlfriend Del. And they broke up when she got pregnant with their son. So meron pa pala tong anak si Antonio before Maribel, okay? He had a series of short-lived relationship before he met Maribel when he was 23 years old. He was then in a relationship. Okay, so yun nga, gaya nga nasabi dun uh, sa ruling, yun nga, napapagsabay-sabay daw niya yung babae, wherein si Maribel napagsabay nga dyan sa isang babae pa. Okay? He was then, 2 years later, in 1980, Maribel got pregnant and Antonio was pressured to marry her. So, again, ang feeling niya, pinikot siya. Okay? Napikot siya. Their first child died 3 months after birth due to aneurysm as he was having difficult time accepting the situation. He asked his mother to stay with them and whispered his quarrels with Maribel. Okay? So, na-depress daw si Antonio nung namatay yung una niyang anak with Maribel. So, since close siya sa nanay niya, although yung nanay niya medyo nung pagkabata niya walang aruga, walang pinakitang pag-aaruga, pinapunta niya yung nanay niya. Siyempre, di ba, yun nga yung isa mga source ng away bukod sa pera ng mag-asawa ay yung magbibiyanan. Okay? Konti lang yung biyanan ba tawag doon? Yung na na magkasundo, okay? Or pinipilit nilang magkasundo. Okay? So, yun. Maribel gave birth to their eldest daughter in 1982, okay? Antoinette, followed by their son Antonio in 1984. A year later, in 1985, they had a serious fight after Maribel discovered his relationship with a paramour, which he immediately ended. Okay, so doon, may anak na siyang dalawa nung nalaman na may kabit, paramour, si Antonio. Okay, and then in 1988, Annabel and Maritoni were born. Okay, from 1989 to 1996, Antonio divulged that he had several flings which Maribel never found out. Despite this, Antonio prides himself on being able to give his family a comfortable life. He showered his wife and kids with gifts and then often traveled out of the country. So, kay Antonio, okay lang naman mambabae ako, di ba? Pinibigyan ko naman kayo ng pera, ng regalo, okay? At nag-out of the country pa tayo. So, kumbaga, gina-justify niya yung pagbababae niya dahil mabuti naman daw siyang asawa at ama. Okay? In March 1997, Antonio had another affair with a 19-year-old GRO. Maribel learned about this in September 1997. So, ang tagal niya natago, di ba? During the confrontation, Antonio was under the impression that Maribel will help him stop the affair. Okay? Instead, she went into a rage and nagged him. Okay? So, si Antonio, ina-expect niya na magmakaawa itong si Maribel na, uy, umiyak siguro, mag-beg si Maribel. However, lumalaban pala 'to si Maribel kaya ito, nagalit si Maribel at binungangaan na lang siya. Okay? Antonio intended to immediately end his illicit relationship but the woman begged for more time. O, 'di ba? Siyempre kapag kabit ka, ikaw pa yung mas importante sa asawa at hindi ka lalayo, okay, doon sa kinagkakabitan mo. So, yun. One day, Maribel went to the woman's house along with the eldest daughter and the latter's classmate. O, di ba? May konfrontasyon na gaganap. Okay? No, kasama pa yung classmate ng anak, di ba? Maribel took pictures and told all their children about his affair. So, yun. So, pinakita sa mga anak, yun yung pangit doon, di ba? Pinakita mo sa anak na nambababae yung tatay mo. So, masama din yun, guys. Okay? Hindi na kailangan malaman ng anak din niya yun. Antonio expected that Maribel would initiate a talk, yet she never did. So, Antonio naman, parang handa siyang ah, i-ano, tanggalin yung pambababae niya. Gusto lang niya ng sympathy, ng onting sweetness kay Maribel. Kaya lang siyempre napuno na ang salop, sabi nga nila. Okay? So, kaya yun, galit na galit si Maribel. Ano yun. Instead, she pasted pictures of the woman inside his room, in the bar, and even the dining room. Yung pinicturean niya yung asawa, ay yung kabit. Okay? So, whenever pestered by his wife, constant nagging about his affair, Antonio leaves the house and stays for a month or so in a rented condominium or apartment. So, di ba, medyo mapang-inis din talaga to si Maribel. Okay? O, alam ko na meron kang babae o sinagay niya din sa mga ano niya, sa 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 bahay nila, 'di ba? Siyempre nakikita din ulit 'yon ng mga anak niya, which is pangit din ulit. So, dahil naiinis na si Antonio, umalis, kumuha ng condominium apartment. Siyempre 'pag mag-isa ang lalaki, nagagalit, ano ba nangyayari, 'di ba? In June 1998, Antonio was driven out of their house because Maribel was suspicious that he was still engaging in an affair. Okay? Antonio slept in a vacant chapel in the funeral home, thinking that it was just another of their fights. Yet on the next day, Maribel sent his clothes. He felt embarrassed as the incident was seen by his employees. He came back home on the weekends and slept in his son's room. The same year, his brother his brother bought a condominium in Quezon City and asked him to live there with his son. He only visited his daughters outside their home, where they would sleep with him at the condominium during the weekends. Antonio stated that he never wanted to be like his father. He waited for Maribel's forgiveness and understanding, which never came. Okay, kung if we will go back, 'di ba, from the start to the fact, it was Antonio who filed the petition for annulment, and yet Antonio was the one found to be psychologically incapacitated. Okay? 'Di ba nga, wala lang, side comment lang, we sometimes turn into the ones we hate. Okay? So, nangyari din ito kay Antonio. Yung sinabi niya, Antonio stated that he never wanted to be like his father. Pero, yun nga, naging katulad din siya ng tatay niya, mambababae, babaero, 'di ba? And, yun nga, ang gusto lang naman daw ni Antonio is patawarin siya ni Maribel, okay? Na intindihin siya na kung sana ay alam niya kung ano yung pinagdaanan ni Antonio, maiintindihan siya. Pero siyempre, that infidelity has no justification, 'di ba? Especially if when you are already married. Okay? So, kahit ano pang pinagdaanan mo, dapat hindi na yun maging rason para ulitin mo pa, lalo't mag-asawa na kayo. Kaya nagkaroon ng marriage advice dito sa ating kwentuhan session. Siguro sana umiinom kayo ng beer habang pinapakinggan nyo ko kasi ako ang iniinom ko lang tubig. Okay, pero mas maganda tong kaso na to if you will read in the full text, of course. Baka mamaya kailangan nyo pa ng tissue. Okay? So this has been your the Antonio Hyoge versus Maria Hyoge. I hope you understand it well. I hope you got the doctrine and the marites. Okay? Again, if you still want more free episodes, yun nga, ang mechanics lang natin, help me, okay, to help you by subscribing, sharing this to your friends, and liking the videos, okay, all of the video. If this is your first time, go to the videos tab, nandun lahat ng episodes, and you could also listen to the podcast kapag kunyari, kasi audio lang naman talaga to. So, listen to the podcast na nasa YouTube music din. So, kung nag-drive ka, traffic, pakinggan niyo yung boses ko kahit pangit. At least may matututunan kayo. Okay? So yan, for every 50 na increase, okay? Let's say ngayon 150 plus 50 ulit 200, maglalagay po ulit ako ng 2 episode. But then again, if you want 60 episodes more, yun, please do avail of the JMV, Sui Generis JMVL Case Digest for you to get access to the 60 case digest, which includes en-bank cases. Okay? So, ito yung nag-agree na lahat na, hindi naman nag-agree lahat, pero ito yung pinapag-usapan na ng lahat ng justices, di ba? En-bank cases, which is most of the time, okay, na itatanong. Okay? So, yun. Okay? So, again, maraming salamat sa pakikinig, sa suporta at tiwala. Merry Christmas sa inyong lahat at Happy New Year. Happy aral din po sa inyo. Good day. Thank you.